Pete Hegseth and others will take that into consideration and not further escalate this. But it is, after all, Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth. So who knows what to expect in the coming hours, coming days, coming weeks. But that's what I know at this hour, that the president and his team are meeting inside the Situation Room, given that Iran has responded by launching missiles at least two U.S. military bases, one again in Iraq, one in Qatar. More throughout the day on this station in L.A. and all the stations where this program right now is being heard. Will all be updated, of course, as we move throughout the day. So I say all that because the world is on edge right about now, and yet, as we know, if we don't laugh, sometimes we cry. And so we're going to change gears altogether in this final hour and sort of get our laugh on. I will start with this clip of Marcus D. Wiley, in part because most of you know I am from the state of Indiana. I don't know that Marcus D. Wiley knows that I'm a Hoosier. Born in Mississippi, but raised in Indiana, went to Indiana University. So Indiana is where all of my family resides, and many of them, of course, are listening to this program right now. But here's Marcus, joning on my home state of Indiana.
The first show was in some small rural area in Indiana. Listen to me. It is all white. Nobody in there black but me. No workers black. I'm the only black person there. And when I got up on that stage, I told them folks, I said, hey, y'all do know this is a comedy show and not an auction. Because it was like an all-white party. I was looking for Frankie Beverly. Where he at?
Yeah. I'm going to let Marcus D. Wiley sit for a second and think about that routine before I open up his microphone and let him tell me why he went in on my home state of Indiana in that way, although it was hilariously funny. I'm glad I got him for the hour. We're going to get our laugh on in this final hour today with Marcus D. Wiley when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least liked to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
Tavis Smiley, glad to have you with us in this hour of our program today. We continue playing the best of Bob Marley all 3 hours of our program today. It's June, and we continue our celebration of June as Black Music Month. You know how we do it. We choose a different artist of the day, and we tap into their catalog all 3 hours of our program, playing some of the best of their music, and we do it all: gospel, hip-hop, jazz, R&B, folk, etc. Today, it's reggae with the GOAT in the reggae genre, Bob Marley, all 3 hours of our program. Our guest in this hour is comedian Marcus D. Wiley, who has a new comedy special called Marriage is a Major Surgery. Before I commence my conversation with Marcus D. Wiley, here's the trailer for the special Marriage is a Major Surgery.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus D. Wiley. Man, let's jump into it. I got a lot of emails. People were saying, Marcus, I want to come to the show, but I'm single. This is really not for me. But I want to share with you, this is exactly for single people. Married people are already grandfathered in. They stuck. I'm sharing with the singles. I'm letting you look over the balcony of a marriage tonight so you can see if this is something you want to do. Because I'm going to tell you like this here. I don't think marriage is for everybody. I don't. It's not for everybody. Yeah. Like if you have a problem forgiving people. You know what I'm saying? If you struggle forgiving folk, single. Yeah, I wouldn't get married if I was you. Yeah. If you somebody who on a strike system, I only give 3 strikes. I struck out year 1. Marriage ain't for you. And if you somebody who say stuff like, you know, you got deal breakers. You already know what's gonna break you up before you hook up. Marriage ain't for you. Yeah. And so I want to let the singles know before I even get started, this show is for you. And watch this. I've been married 27 years and I still watch Living Single. If it's good, it's just good. I mean, well, let's get into it, y'all.
Marcus D. Wiley, good to have you on this program today. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Man, if I complained, I'd be an ingrate. I am doing well. As I said, the world is on edge right now, and so it's been weird trying to navigate 3 hours with all this breaking news. I shouldn't say weird. I'm used to it. It's always a challenge to do that. But again, I'm glad to have you on in this hour. Let me just start with this. Why marriage as it's funny stuff, by the way, but why marriage as the subject of this latest comedy special?
I felt like I had some cachet now, being married. Being married 27 years, to the same one.
Yeah.
That's big too. And, I was looking online, a lot of people making a lot of money off podcasts and a lot of relationship experts out there coming to find out they're not even married. And so I said, let me put my art form, on stage, and it worked out real good for me.
Yeah. What is the trick? You said 26, 27 years? Is that what you said?
27.
27, yeah. I don't want to short you by a year. 27.
Please don't. Please don't. I need all them.
Yeah, I don't want to short you, man. So 27. So what is the trick, Marcus D. Wiley? You figured it out where others have not.
Well, I haven't really figured it out, and I just found that out last week. I was doing a show with Rainbow Push Coalition in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I believe this man name is Dr. Larson.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to me, how long you been married? I said, 27 years. He said, oh, you're a newlywed. I said, what? And so he went with this spiel, but he gave me some good advice. He said he made it to 55 years by having amnesia. And so, I was like, okay. He said, yeah, you gotta forget a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And so
he said forget, and in your comedy bit, you said forgive. So I guess those two things go together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Forget and forgive.
Yes, sir.
I have always been fascinated. I actually love it because, it makes you stand out. I am fortunate to have a name that I think stands out. People still call me Tavis far too often, but that's okay. As I tell people, I tell folk all the time, one, I've been called worse, and two, just don't call me late for dinner. You can call me anything else. But I'm always fascinated by the way people present themselves in media spaces, and you have chosen as your trademark to go with Marcus D. Wiley. I'm fascinated and always have been why you chose to do that.
Yeah, you're a smart man. Tavis. I did that because when I started in 2002, Ricky Smiley was I think he was on BET at the time, and he kind of had the name. And because it rhymed a little bit, I said, well, I'm going to break it up. I won't just call myself Marcus Wiley. I'm going to use my middle initial, go Marcus D. Wiley. And I was already signing my checks like that, even though they were very small. At that time, I still had vision. So I said, when I, go on stage, I'm going to go with the Marcus D. Wiley.
Yeah. No, it works, man. It works. This most recent special, Marriage is a Major Surgery, has done extremely well for you. I had Ali Sadiq on this program, I guess it was last week. And his comedy special is also on YouTube. Yours is on YouTube. And I'm just fascinated. I've been at this a long time, 30 plus years in this media game on TV, radio, and everything in between. And so I'm blessed to still be here all these years later, all these decades later now. But I've seen the game change so much. And I could never have imagined even, 5-10 years ago that people would be releasing specials on YouTube and they'd be garnering the kind of numbers. Your special is well into the millions of views and downloads. Talk to me about YouTube as a business model for comedy specials.
Yeah, times have changed. I didn't see it. Actually, Ali Sadiq, who executive produced Marriage is Major Surgery, he actually saw it, he saw the value in what I brought to the table, and we first put it out to some platforms. I don't want to name them, but we put it out there to them. They was coming back with small amount of money, and Ali and his people were like, "Hey, man, we gonna triple, quadruple that, putting it on YouTube." And at the time, I hadn't made a dime off YouTube, on anything.
Yeah.
And so, lo and behold, they were right. We put it on YouTube, and then the clips on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and not Twitter, but X, X and TikTok and all these places, and checks just started coming in, and I was like, oh my God. So it's actually new to me.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did it this way.
Yep. What have you learned? I'm laughing at those checks coming in. That's a lot of Marcus D. Wiley signatures on the backs of those checks for deposits. So what have you learned? I mean, this thing is really taking off now, still taking off.
Yeah.
But what have you learned? What is the success of this YouTube special said to you about the way you will moving forward?
Well, tell you the truth, I did not know. I really, I guess I'm just and sometimes I can be, aloof, but I had no idea that marriages were really in trouble. I didn't know that. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been in church all my life. I know people had to get divorced, all that type of stuff, but I didn't know it was like a pandemic. You understand what I'm saying? I just thought, okay, they didn't work, and so forth. So that's the first thing the special did, because I've received so many inboxes and emails and DMs and whatever from people just saying how the special really made some things clear, for them. And it gave them a different perspective and a different way to look at some of the things they were going through. So first, that was a blessing, a treat for me to hear that on that side. It let me know that there's a lane and a space for this type of comedy. And then on the business side, it just let me know, man, people are nosy. And I need to continue to put this type of material, this type of what do they call it now? This type of content on my page. And so I can also do what I wasn't able to do when we were in the real pandemic, which was make money while I'm at home.
Yeah.
I've always been working.
Yeah.
But when the pandemic hit, it showed me, hey man, that little money you making, if you ain't still making it, it dwindles.
Yeah.
But this lets me know I got to kind of stay, is able to stay relevant, keep the content going, and then you kind of get some checks while you are not doing anything.
You mentioned earlier that people are nosy. Indeed, they are, which leads me to ask how Mrs. Wiley takes to your putting her business, y'all's business, in your comedy on stage and on YouTube.
It started off rough. I ain't gonna lie. I started off rough. I can't lie to you, Tad.
Until she saw them checks coming in, huh?
Listen, them checks help. Them checks help. Because my wife would always say something like, man, why you always talking about me? And I say, babe, I talk about you because I talk about my life.
Yeah.
Now, if you want me to talk about something else, let me get in these clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, put me back in these streets. I can get some new material. You ain't gonna like it, but I can get some new material.
Yeah. But she's cool with it these days?
Yeah, she cool with it. She real cool with it. And I always tell her, we can make more money if she come with me. Come get on some of these podcasts, but my wife like to play the background.
Yeah.
She ain't in all that. And I'm glad about that, because I think I shared on something else that our marriage is not a brand. It's a bond.
Yeah.
And, so I don't want to make money off my marriage. Like Marriage's Major Surgery was just in art form. I'm just talking, but I don't want to act like we had the answers, writing a book, 12 steps to a successful marriage, all that.
Yeah.
And then we end up getting divorced. And now I say, respect our privacy. After I done sold all these books, respect our privacy. Now, I want to.
You got me cracking up. I have laughed at that more times than I can count. You can imagine in my career, doing what I've done, interviewing everybody over 30 plus years. I've come across that more times than I can count. I have people who come on the show and they will tell my producers, can you ask Tavis not to ask us about this? Can you ask Tavis not to ask me about that? But it is hilarious to me that we are in a business where people will put all of their stuff out there. And then when they don't want to be bothered, they'll say, please respect our privacy. What privacy? You ain't got no privacy. You done told us all your business for 25 years. Now you want us to respect your privacy? So I'm laughing at you saying that, Marcus. That line just cracks me up every time somebody says it.
It's crazy to me too. So I said, nah, I don't want to be that person, because if I was that person on the other end, I would be like, nah, bro, I bought all your books.
That's right. That's
I've been to all your seminars. No, you gotta let me know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what happened. Yeah, now is no time to respect your privacy.
Yes.
We want you to download us for some information.
Exactly.
It seems to me though, since you went there, let me follow you. It seems to me that given the success of Marriage is a Major Surgery right now with millions of views on YouTube, given the success of it, it seems to me that marriage is such a ripe subject. You could do this. You can come back just a few more times.
Well, I'm already working. We're trying to see when I'm going to record, but I've already written out part 2. It's called Rehab. Anytime you have surgery, major surgery, you got to go to rehab.
That's right.
So Rehab is the second installment of the Marriage is Major Surgery series. Now I don't know how long it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But so far I'm on 2.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it.
When you have a YouTube special like this, again, I'm just fascinated by the ways in which comedians and others are using other platforms to get their messages out. He didn't call the names. I'll call them. You don't have to have Netflix say yes to you. You don't have to have Hulu say yes to you. I can run the list all day long. We know what Marcus is talking about. He's a good Christian brother. He didn't want to out nobody. But I'm like Jesus in the temple. I'm turning tables over. I'm turning over tables, man. So whether it's Netflix or Amazon or any of the others who may have told you no, you have found a way to make it work for yourself. And again, I'm fascinated by the business model and how successful it can be for people putting specials out. And yet I'm curious as to how, when you have this kind of success, it impacts your outreach for club dates. I'm looking at your dates, man. You're almost as busy as Ali Sadiq, man. That Negro was on last week, and he don't stop working until Christmas. I mean, he's like literally somewhere every other day between now and Christmas. But I can only imagine that it must lead to an uptick in your comedy tour dates, the invites at least. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've been on tour with Ali last 2 years, actually, on his tour last year and this year. And then because of the success of Marriage is Major Surgery, like you said, now the clubs come calling.
I'm sure.
And so, I'm booked. My first date is this weekend, Dayton, Ohio, and it goes through January, every weekend, booked at a comedy club. And so it was our thing. Like, I've been working, but I was working a lot of churches, pretty much my whole career, which is no shade. They provided a fantastic, lifestyle for a brother. But there's a cap in the churches. It only can go so high.
Right.
And so we were trying to get me out of the church and not have the churches come to see me in venues instead of me going to them.
Yep.
And so this has also helped with that as well.
When we come forward, I want to talk about just that, what it means to have a clean style of comedy such that you can work churches even with your material, say nothing of clubs. He's doing churches and clubs. I am mad at him. But we'll talk about his style of comedy when we come forward. Our guest is Marcus D. Wiley on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
I'm Avery Wood with BIN News Now. Michelle Obama is urging moms to raise their sons the way they do their daughters. In a recent episode of her IMO podcast, she said boys need to be taught how to communicate and care about more than just themselves.
Teach them about how to deal with a traffic stop, but also teach them how to communicate in a marriage and be a listening father and to be a compassionate neighbor and to be a voting citizen.
Her comments drew praise and conversation online. LA Mayor Karen Bass is warning about masked armed men posing as immigration agents. They're using unmarked cars with out-of-state plates, sparking fears of impersonation and possible kidnappings. And Oklahoma City will celebrate the NBA champion Thunder with a downtown parade Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. The Thunder clinched the title on Sunday, beating the Pacers in Game 7. MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the team to victory. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Whenever the Oklahoma City Thunder faced a challenge in the NBA regular season, the playoffs, or the finals, they rose up and got the job done. OKC played like champions most of the season, and they were on top of their game Sunday night, using a dominant second half to beat the Indiana Pacers 103-91 for their first NBA championship since moving to OKC in 2008. NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was also voted MVP of the finals. SGA led the Thunder with 29 points, 12 assists, and 2 block shots. Indiana had to play most of the game without star point guard Tyrese Halliburton, who suffered an Achilles tendon injury with 4:55 left in the first quarter. There was another major news story in the NBA on Sunday. The Phoenix Suns traded future Hall of Famer Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets, a young team that made it to the Western Conference semifinals this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Freedom is an endless meeting, so let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Bob Marley, all 3 hours of our program today. We choose a different artist every day during the month of June to celebrate the best of their catalog, and so we have chosen Bob Marley all 3 hours of our program today. Our guest in this hour is Marcus D. Wiley, comedian, who has a new special out called Marriage is a Major Surgery. It's on YouTube. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend it. You will laugh at this content. He has done it once again. I had a chance to watch it, of course, before he came on the program today, and enjoyed it immensely. And I said to him a moment ago, the subject of marriage is ripe for more specials. And he mentioned he's working on the next one already. It's called Rehab. I can't wait for that one. But again, I invite you to check out Marriage is a Major Surgery. More than 3 million views already on YouTube. So I ain't mad at Marcus D. Wiley signing those checks. But check it out on YouTube when you get a chance. I've always been fascinated by you. And there are others who, of course, have done well in this lane. But you're killing it in this lane with your, if I can call it, clean style of comedy. We were talking earlier about the fact that you play churches as well as you play clubs, and everybody laughs. That says something about the universality of the message in your comedy. We'll come back to that message in just a second. But just talk to me about how you got on this track of doing the kind of comedy that you do, Marcus D. Wiley.
Well, I am a preacher's kid, grandkid, and great-grandkid.
There's the answer.
So I put in my comedy all the time. I broke the generational curse. When I started doing comedy, I didn't want to do it, kind of cussing. I mean, I know how to cuss now. I ain't one of these Christians that act like I don't know how to cuss. But I wanted to do it clean. Not trying to go completely against what my dad and grandfather, was trying to do on the other side. And so it was a conscious effort, to go clean. And I like it because when I do TV and stuff like that, I don't have to clean up.
Yeah.
I'm already clean. So I don't have to try to find clean material to do.
Yep. How does that style, that brand, how does it limit you or open you up? You tell me.
Yeah, I think it do more opening up than limiting me, because I love being on shows with the quote unquote raunchy comedians and stuff like that. Because I think light shines real bright in those particular areas. Folk like to, because I do a lot of churches, they like to say, "Oh, you're a Christian comedian." I'm like, no. I'm a comedian that happens to be a Christian. There's a lot of Christians out there and they don't put a label, in front of their occupation. It's not like a Christian pest control company. We only kill sage roaches and all this type. I mean, I just do comedy, bro. And it's for everybody and everybody.
Yeah. How did the comedy become your muse in the first place? How did this become your way of entertaining us?
Yeah, I went to school for radio, TV, film. Went to Texas Southern University here in Houston, Texas.
Oh yeah.
And so after that, worked at BET, produced a show called Hits from the Streets for 3 years, and then I was back home because in my special I say how I told my wife, give me 5 years, kind of find myself. So didn't really find myself. So I was coming home to be a good little deacon at the church, good little church boy.
Yeah.
And then I was hosting a Christmas gala at my church for free because I was a little funny guy at the church. And a lady who was there, a visitor, she thought I was a comedian, reached out to the church. They put in contact with me and she was like, I own a coffee shop and I would love for you to come do your comedy. I was like, I'm not a comedian. She was like, you was very funny at that show. I was like, they know me. And she was like, well, I got $500.
Wow.
And I said, how much time? She said, 30 minutes. And I just did the math, Tavis. I said, okay, so I've been working at the church making $1,200 a month. So that's 1,230 days. She finna pay me 530 minutes. I didn't pass the SAT, but I know what money looks like. And so I tried it out and it's been rolling ever since. And I tell everybody, sometimes other people see stuff in you, that you don't see. And it's always worth at least a try. At least try.
I was just about to go there. You beat me to it. So talk to me about that reality, that she saw something in you and convinced you that you could do a 30-minute set at her coffee house. But the fact that she saw that in you when you didn't even see it in yourself, you were denying that I'm a comedian. She said, no. You are a comedian. Talk to me about that part.
Yeah. So I can tell it to you in the story form. So what happened was, after I did the 30 minutes, it was a new development in Houston at that time, a new suburb called Pearland. That's where a coffee shop was. And so 3 days after I did her show, she calls me and say, hey, the people out here enjoyed it. They want to do something once a month. I want you to do it, and I'm gonna pay you $750. So I'm going 1,230 days, $750 in one night. I said, bet. And so she says, my profession, I am a CPA. The coffee shop is just another stream of income, but I'm a CPA. And she says, you don't need me now, but you're gonna need me because you're funny. And so she was really just pumping me up, man. She's pumping me up. And so she really had more confidence in me at that time than I did. And lo and behold, she did become my CPA. And, and it's been good.
That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. Yeah. So she gives you these opportunities in the coffee shop. When did you own what she had already declared? She declared it, but how long into your career or how long were you doing this before you actually owned it? That guess what? I am a comedian. I am funny, and people like me.
This is when I knew one of these old cool pastors came to the coffee shop, right?
Right.
Because the coffee shop was used as like outings for churches. Because that's another thing. She didn't want any cussing and vulgarities at her show. So I had to be clean.
Yeah.
And churches would use it as for married night out and single night out and whatever night out from the church. And so one of these slick, cool pastors came in there maybe at about the 7th month and said, hey, I like what you're doing here, but I can't get my people here. Can you do this at my church? I said, yeah. He said, how much you charge? And Tavis, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous. I was like, $750? He said, that's all? He said, man, I'm gonna double that. Yeah, let's give me your number, man. I'm gonna have my people call you. We're gonna do this at my church. And so I finished 1 year at the coffee shop. I did it at his church. All his preacher friends was there after the show. They was like, bro, you good. Can you do this at my church? I was like, yeah. They was like, how much you charge? I said $1,500. and that's when I embraced.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a comedian.
Yeah,
so
what is it like? This is an experience I'll never have, of course. But what is it like standing in a church, in that holy sacred space, but making people laugh? What's that like?
I'm very comfortable with that. I've been, like I say, I was born in church, I've been in church all my life. So I'm very comfortable in that setting.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable being myself. I thought my mom and my dad did a good job of raising me with balance. A lot of preachers' kids, they are, some of them still wounded because they maybe couldn't go to dances and couldn't go to the movies and stuff like that. But my parents let me do what I wanted to do, sports, parties, all that. But I knew Sunday morning, I had to get up and go to church. No excuses. And so once I was able to connect with that and kind of be myself, let my personality show in all arenas, it's nothing to me.
Yeah. The special right now. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Finish your point. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish your point.
No, because I was just saying, because I try to be genuine. Like I'm going to be me at the church and it's me at the club. I'm not going, whatever I did at the club, you can go back and tell the people at the church.
No.
So I did it all. So I just wanted to say that, like, I'm the same guy.
No, that brand of authenticity works, man. That works, and you are working it. Somebody said it'll work if you work it, and you are working it. It's called Marriage is a Major Surgery. That's the new special right now on YouTube, millions of views. And if you haven't seen it yet, I can assure you, you're going to laugh your behind off, especially if you are married. But you heard him say earlier, it's also for the single people. So single or married, you will get a kick out of Marriage is a Major Surgery, now streaming on YouTube. More of our conversation with the comedian Marcus D. Wiley when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams. My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, fly privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with comedian Marcus D. Wiley. His comedy special, Marriage is a Major Surgery, streaming right now on YouTube, and you should check it out. Marcus D. Wiley, did I read this correctly? That you got a company called Hell No Ministries?
No. That was my attempt of doing something on social media. So I called it Hell No Ministries because my wife kept encouraging me, like, man, you gotta get online. I was like, I don't want to do that. That ain't my thing.
Yeah.
And she made me think we was in jeopardy of losing the crib. Like, so I kept telling her, hell no, I'm not getting on it. And so finally, when I got on it, that's what I called it.
I love it. Hell No Ministries. That's like a double entendre. There are a number of ways to read that, right? Hell no.
Yes, it is.
I'm not trying to go to hell. Hell no. I mean, there are so many ways.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I see what you did. That's what your wife did there, or what you did there. Whoever did it. I see it, and it works. I'm looking at some of these dates, man. I've got Raleigh, North Carolina on the 20th. No, we just passed it. Today's the 23rd already. So you already did Raleigh. You did Raleigh.
Yeah, I did Raleigh with Ali. It was my last weekend with him this past weekend.
Right. So he's got coming up. He's got Dayton, Ohio, as he mentioned earlier. He's got Oklahoma City. He's got Hartford, Connecticut. I see Lexington, Kentucky. Where do you list all your dates?
They go to marcusdwiley.com. I still have a website. I consider that headquarters. I paid for a domain years ago, so as well use it.
Yeah, that's where you can find all your dates. This one's called this is When the Church Met the Club tour.
When the Church Met the Club. So because this is my first club tour, right. I kind of want to introduce my brand, to the club. So that's why I called it When the Church, meaning me.
Yeah.
Met the club.
Yeah.
And just kind of talking about what I've been dealing with all my life, as a Christian in the 21st century.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. He's on tour right now all across the country, and it's called When the Church Met the Club Tour. Our remaining moments with Marcus D. Wiley when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen. So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You can find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at billshappen.com. BillsHappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to BillsHappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At BillsHappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person, and Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when bills happen, go to BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com for the cash you need now. BillsHappen.com.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
We jumped in so fast 55 minutes ago, Mark, at the top of this conversation. We jumped in so quickly, I didn't get a chance to tease you about bagging on my home state of Indiana, sir, in that in that bit, but I didn't forget about it.
Hey, had I known I would be on your show, Mr. Tavis Smiley, I would not have used that particular city.
No. I actually loved it, man. It was a funny bit, and it was accurate, and that's what made it funny, man. You were speaking the truth about the state of Indiana, and I found it humorous. I just want to tease you about that. His special, once again, is called "Marriage is a Major Surgery." It's streaming right now on YouTube. As he says, it's for the married, the want to be married, the used to be married, and the want to be married again. So you fit in one of those categories if you're listening right now. And so I encourage you to check it out. Again, Marriage is a Major Surgery, streaming on YouTube. I love your motto, your brand of comedy, that laughter is good, but the message is better. I'm curious as to what you think, what the message is as you see it in your comedy, and how do you deliver a message in your comedy without proselytizing? I mean, you come from obviously a family of preachers, so you want to deliver comedy, you want to make people think, but you don't want to be preachy in it, and obviously you've mastered that. Tell me how.
I think, my father used to say, hey, man, when you have an opportunity to say something, you should say something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I'm trying to deliver like a message, but it's always whether the message is a different outlook, a different perspective, a fresh insight. And sometimes it is a message.
Mm-hmm.
I just think being on stage for an hour, people should leave there not only with just laughing, but also like learn something.
Mm-hmm.
I see things different now.
Yeah.
So
nope.
that's really what that's all about. I don't want to waste somebody's hour of their life with just
mm-hmm.
especially in the climate we live in today.
Yep. Nope. I hear you loud and clear. Let me close on this note. We didn't get a chance to get into it, but some years ago you wrote a book called Hustle and Faith. I love the title, Hustle and Faith. I jumped into it in preparation for our conversation, but just say a word about that book and what you were getting at with that title, Hustle and Faith, for those who've not had a chance to read your book.
Yeah. At the time when I wrote the book, I was a college professor, radio host, and a comedian. People always ask, how you doing all three? And I would tell them, it's my hustle and it's my faith.
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing about the book was that God honors your faith, but he rewards your hustle.
Mm.
And so if you putting out that energy and you being a go-getter and all that, eventually it's going to all kind of come together for you. And it'll be a bit of both. It'll be your hustle and it'll be your belief, in God and how he going to bless you.
It's a great title for a book, and more to the point, speaking of message, I love the message in the book that God honors your faith, but he rewards your hustle. So hustle harder. As I say, stay humble, but hustle harder, right?
Sure.
And I am grateful to Marcus D. Wiley for that book, for this comedy special, and for this conversation. Once again, the special is called Marriage is a Major Surgery, now with more than 3 million views and counting on YouTube. I love his business model. I love his humor. I love his style, and I love that he took an hour of his time today to talk to us about all of the above. Marcus D. Wiley, all the best to you, sir. Thank you for your time, and stay strong until we talk again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tavis Smiley. I appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate you, sir. Just like that, 3 hours gone. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until tomorrow, thanks for listening to Tavis Smiley. And as always, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Michelle Obama is urging moms to raise their sons the way they do their daughters. In a recent episode of her IMO podcast, she said boys need to be taught how to communicate and care about more than just themselves.
Teach them about how to deal with a traffic stop, but also teach them how to communicate in a marriage and be a listening father and to be a compassionate neighbor and to be a voting citizen.
Her comments drew praise and conversation online. LA Mayor Karen Bass is warning about masked armed men posing as immigration agents. They're using unmarked cars with out-of-state